I'm a little bit. I hope you're doing well today and welcome to this video. This is the second attempt because my first attempt ended up being me just crying around about things, and even though I kind of wanted to talk about all of this, at the second thought after sleeping over it a little bit, I noticed that I don't want to talk about it in such great details. These are things that I should talk about with friends, with family, and with my therapist, and not with the internet. However, I do want to at least talk about some of my current thoughts and my situation that I think a lot of people, especially artists, are sitting on and be like, what now? First and foremost, I do want to say sorry for sounding a little bit funny. I am currently sick. I have it's not tea, but something that helps with illness. Tasty. And if you also hear my cats in the background, they're playing around a little bit, so you might hear them. Hey, what's up? Anyway, also another thing that I do need to first make sure, and maybe you will hear some jump cuts in this audio. It is because I have no script at all. I'm just talking out of my ass, and the reason for it is because I think that I need to speak freely to this. I do have smaller bullet points, but I don't have them noted down anywhere. I just know that I want to talk about a few smaller details, and so before I ramble a bit more, I just start with the video. I watched a video from another YouTuber called P.A. Clark, and where she made a video saying that the title was "I'm 25 and I hate my life," and she was talking about her past decisions, reflecting on them, being like, oh hey, I don't like how my life is at the moment, and blah blah blah. It kind of made me reflect on my own decisions a little bit that I did in my life, and right now I don't know, I do feel like I am in a similar situation like her, where I don't really like my life at all. Don't get me wrong, I am not like in a position where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do something to myself. No. Just so you know, this will not happen. I have a boyfriend. I have a really good support system on the side. So if anything ever happens to me, I know that I'm in good hands. So I am feeling pretty safe. So don't be afraid that anything could happen to me. Okay. So, but still, I am here not really liking my life. Reason for that is because I am going through a second round of burnout and severe depression. I already had it once when I was working in a bakery, and now it happens again. Of course, this time I would say it is a little bit worse than the first time, because the first time it was just purely overwork and the night shifts that fucked up everything. I was literally just functioning because I had like 4 cups of coffee or even more in like an hour or so, and that's not healthy. And so, but it was just that. While this time I also have to go through other things. As I already said it in the community tab, I lost my uncle and I'm still in the grieving process. So that also weighs heavily on me, on my family, and we are trying to get through that together. It's a hard journey for us all. So that also made it really difficult for me to get through day-to-day life. Normally, I started to overwork again, which also didn't also really help that my team leader sucks, that some of the co-workers suck, and that those that really tried to help out my team leader, because he is literally trash. I don't even try to give him the benefit of the doubt in this situation. He is absolute trash. But instead of maybe listening to our opinions, he would accuse us of just manipulating and sabotaging, and that he has the right to do all of this and blah blah blah. And so I don't have any sympathy for this guy anymore, even though people would say, oh, but he is a great guy. I mean, he's a great friend. He might be a great friend, but he is an absolute trash person. So that's where I am at. And I'm technically not someone who would say these things about someone, because I'm someone who loves peace. I am a really peaceful person, but I don't have any sympathy for someone who we tried to help to keep the peace, and he would intentionally not accept it, intentionally accuse us of things that aren't even true, and intentionally tried to manipulate others, including me. And I started to really think through all of this. And as I said, this is not the second time that I'm going through it, and I don't know really what I'm doing with my life, because I really thought that the job that I had, or still have, because I'm still employed technically, I really thought that this will be a job that I would do for a very long time, which I technically did. I'm working for this company since 2022, and now we're 2025, closing up and starting up with 2026 soon. So you might think that at some point you would say that this is quite a long time, but I thought that I will be there for a bit longer. And not only that, maybe I will get more opportunities, because I managed to get a promotion really quickly from a normal front supporter into tech support in 7 months? That's quite quickly. So, and I really thought, oh, I might get other chances. But no, this team leader pretty much made sure that no one got any other opportunities. So thanks for that. And it's now to a point where even thinking about having to get back to this place gives me the icks. And I do know that I have to quit that job. I have to quit it. I don't have any other choices. So what do I do? Because I'm a certified baker, but the first time having a burnout was caused due to being a baker. I can't get back into bakery. I can't do that. The night shifts would kill me. So do I get back into support, into another company? I could, but the issue is I'm currently living in a state where you speak French, and even though I do speak a little bit of French, my French isn't perfect enough to support people. And even if I would find another place, another city where you speak German, they're rather far away, and I do not have a car. Example, my mom said, hey, I know someone who works in this company. They look for supporters, so maybe you could apply there. And it is over an hour with the train for me away. I can't get that job just for the sheer fact of connections with the trains. It would be horrendous. How would I manage to do that? Sure, they apparently have 2 days of home office, cool, but only 2 days? Come on, man. My therapist even suggested maybe I could go into a bakery and work in the front, selling. That could be done. But another thing that is then keeping me away from it is money, and the sheer fact that I then have to support people again. But it's mostly the money. It is really badly paid. I might do that when I get old and don't really need a lot of money anymore to live. So now that I'm here, I'm really starting to think what else would be an option. And I just saw a TikTok, or it wasn't really a TikTok video. Someone just posted a few pictures on TikTok, in a slide, about an artist who just said, hey, I quit my job without any plans because I want to pursue art full time. And I'm like, what? I mean, power to you, but how can you do that? And she said herself that she did like her job where she was, and that she had a lot of pride to work there, but she really wanted to pursue her passion for art, and that's when she just gave in her 2 weeks notice, and now is working on doing that, getting in art full time. And even though I am quite shocked that someone just would do that, I'm mostly jealous. Because since I am, 14 years old or something, since I know that you can be an artist on the internet, I wanted to be that. I wanted to make money by just drawing, making art, and making people happy with my content. And that was always something I wanted to do. I didn't for so long because I first needed a safety net. That's why I got an apprenticeship as a baker first and worked a little bit to get some experience. And even now, in February, I will have another education in social media marketing, thinking that I could get into better job opportunities. But the other question then is, will this make me like happy? Really? What if it doesn't? And I'm stuck again in a loop and I will burn out again and my depression will flare up again. I can't do this all the time because, let's be honest, being burned out like that is horrible. I wouldn't suggest to any of you pushing yourself to the point where you're so burnt out that you have to take a break for months. You feel like shit, and even just folding your laundry after they were washed is so hard. I'm not kidding when I'm saying that folding my clothes for an hour would tire me out so badly that I had to take a break in the middle and go to sleep and then continue. That's not right. That's not okay. So I'm pretty afraid that even though I might get a better job opportunity with this new education that I want to pursue, what if it's still not enough? What if this isn't making me happy? So at this moment, I'm just thinking like, well, what if I just quit my job without a plan, without anything, and just, you know, pursuing my thing with art? Only issue is that I am not a big YouTuber. I'm not a big Instagrammer. I'm not a big TikToker. I'm nowhere big, because even though I get really nice comments regarding my art, which I'm really grateful for, I know that my art isn't really picking up the algorithm, I guess. And I know the algorithm is more like gambling, pretty much. Sometimes you're lucky and you get picked up by the algorithm, and sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, I would need to work really hard on it. And I feel like I have to first make sure that I get recognized, or my art gets recognized, before I even can consider to just quitting my job like that and just pursue art full time. I don't know if that would be a smart move for me to just quit, but like deep down, I would do nothing more than just that. Just quitting my job. Who needs a boss who is telling you what to do when you can just freelance? You are your own boss, or more like you get clients and they're then your boss, because then they are bound to a contract, you're bound to a contract, you fulfill the contract, and then boom, they have art and they're happy, and then you move on to the next client. I want to go on anime cons and sell my art there, get connections, and make my brand and stuff. I would do nothing more than just that. That would make me actually super happy, but I don't want to do that without a safety net. But at the other hand, I'm like, if I always wait for a safety net, I will be stuck forever in this loop, because then even if I get a safety net, I can always say, oh well, if I don't upload anything, then, you know, I can just fall back to that safety net, and then I will take my dream less serious. I don't want that. Sure, we can also say that the fact that in Switzerland being self-employed is really, really difficult, just for tax reasons alone. But on the other hand, I'm faithful that I managed to get to this point. I really want to get to the point where I can say that I am a self-employed freelance artist. I would do anything for it. So I don't know, maybe with this video I can push myself a little bit to work on myself. I kind of feel like I want to get my 2 months notice ready, so as soon as I do have to get back to my current job, because sadly I can at least work on my art things. I'm still working on a commission. Again, I kind of want to get it ready before Christmas, so I can then take on other commissions. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, I guess that is everything. I kind of want to get back into maybe talking about the whole thing again, maybe in another video, because I do kind of feel like that really helped, just being real. In the meantime, I'm trying to heal from my illness that I have. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who listened. If you want to support a small artist, make sure to maybe leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe You don't have to, of course, but that would mean the absolute world for me. I will try to make more like videos like these, because I think that this is not just helping, because I think it helps me out to keep my dream in focus. And hopefully one day I can say to you all that I am now a full-time freelance artist, which would be amazing. And so, yeah, as always, wash your hands, stay safe, take your vitamins, take your medication if you didn't have it already. I will see you guys maybe in my next video. Bye!